Okay, recording is in progress. All right, we'll wait just till the top of the hour and then we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just making, you guys can see my screen, correct?
We can.
Awesome. All right. Well, it is 10 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and kick off the webinar and get started. So, hey everyone, and welcome to our live demo of MyHealthily. My name is Alyssa, and I'm very excited to be your host today. We just have a few housekeeping items that we want to go over. So this will be recorded and sent out within 24 hours of the presentation. We will have you muted, but at the end of the demonstration, we'll definitely have time to accept questions live. You can also submit those questions during the demonstration and we'll answer them at the end. So feel free to do that and then ask any questions. So feel free just to go ahead and use that chat as you need. So MyHealthily is an employee health benefits platform for agents and allows you to shop, quote, and select plans alongside your client all within 45 minutes. And I'm about to hand it over to our experts who will walk you through the amazing features that we have today and the benefits of MyHealthily. JD Gartlets, Executive Director, and Jeremy McLendon, our Vice President of Insurance Affairs. So JD and Jeremy, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Alyssa. And Jeremy, if you'll screen share. All right. So we really have designed a nice platform that cuts out all of the non-value added paperwork. We're really geared to save you agents and brokers about 70% of time while you quote groups, inclusive of the level funded products as well. So it's a lot that's within our platform. It may be unfathomable that we can do all that, but we certainly can. So one of the ways we can get started, we want to show you this demo and show you how we get started, how easy it is to simply enter in about 4 pieces of information, which Jeremy's doing right now. Simply building a case. He's going to install the Citus zip code, which governs everything, as you can imagine, and the effective date. So now he's built the case that quickly. We're able to merge on to uploading a census document, and I believe we have a test census ready to go that Jeremy's showing you how easy it is to upload the census document. And what's really neat about our platform is the fact that really, in our older version of our software, you had to use MyHealthfully's employee health benefits census document. You don't have to do that anymore. You can use your own. We have a mapping feature, which is shown here on this screen, allows you to rearrange rows and columns congruent to the way it shows on the document. And Jeremy's showing you the column page here. Everything is mapped correctly, and we can click Upload Census. And here are all employees listed with dependents included if dependents are part of your census document. We have 7 lives in this group, maybe a few more lives with dependents. And we move on to the employees covered page, which simply means that we can select out or select back in employees for quoting. If we do select them out, it doesn't mean they're waived yet. The waivers have been signed. Jeremy's clicked next, and we're going to move on to the major medical quoting. This is where the system is reading the census document, the ages, the biological sex, all the data on that document and configuring what available carriers and plan quotes there are, including a few products you probably aren't familiar with. And we'd be happy to talk to you about that offline. But you're going to see the entire marketplace congruent with the Citus zip code that you enter. So hang on just a second while it quotes. Sometimes when we have large bandwidth like this, pulls, it slows things down. So few minutes. All right. So I believe this is a group based out of Idaho. So it's a good level funded state. And you can see that there are 755 plan options that quickly. Here are the carriers. Jeremy's showing you the left side where all the filters are. What do you do with 755 plan options? Well, we can make a lot go down to very few with the filter use on the left side. Deductible, out-of-pocket max, uh, policy type. You'll notice here on the left side, ACA community rated and level funded medically underwritten options are all included in. Right? SBCs are readily available on this page for each plan card. Every plan has its SBC. And if it's a fully insured case, age banding rates are produced right here in the platform for you. Now, we can move on when we put a couple of plans in the cart to the plan comparison button. We put this nice tool in here, as Jeremy's cursor indicates, so you can sit plans side by side. Let's imagine you were using this tool to sell face or over a Zoom or screen share. I've certainly done that a number of times, and it works. And this is a plan comparison tool, which usually works very well and is very convenient for the seller. Now, we do have the illustrative level funding model here. As I said, this is Idaho, so a wonderful state to level fund. In actuality, we use one common medical questionnaire to gather underwritten rates from up to 8 level funded carriers. So we're trying to make it really, really easy for you all to receive level funded quotes from many carriers. And I think we're going to move forward with a fully insured case so we don't have to stop and see the medical underwriting process, which we'd be happy to go over with you in a demo in a separate conversation. As we move on, we're going to straight into the dental where there are 159 plan options, and you can see the carriers on the left side here. So we readily make these available with the summaries as well. Everyone's downloadable. Dental, vision, life, short-term, long-term disability, and worksite lines. And the worksite lines, as Jeremy moves through quickly, include accident, critical illness, hospital indemnity, and cancer. So essentially what we have done is made a really, really efficient way of quoting and gathering all lines together in one place, one application. And that's right here at MyHealthily. Now, in this page, as Jeremy's cursor indicates, you can download a proposal that is instantly produced in a Word or Excel format that is editable, right? If you have a certain proposal format that you will really, really like, you can certainly send that to us and we will install it for you for a nominal fee. But if you like our proposal, and here it is, it's going to have a nice landing page. It's going to go to the major medical options first. And every piece of data on this proposal is included or congruent with the SBC of the major medical plan, with the SBCs being hyperlinked in underneath the plan name at the top. Very convenient. So no more keying in data that your account managers may have used to, right? All lines are represented. Okay. So we have this really nice custom add your own plan, custom plan add feature here. Let's say you don't see a carrier you really want to write. As long as you have the plan ID and the SBC, we can certainly add any line of coverage you want, any plan. You have that option here. A plan ID and SBC are recorded or required. All right, let's move on from the proposal. So after we sell a case, right, we want to identify any type of employee class. Maybe the small group doesn't have them. We often see them. So this is where you can add as many classes as you would like and select the people within those classes as well. After you've done the classwork, it's time to merge into the employer contribution strategy, uh, where we can actually issue them compositely or on an age banded basis, simple or really detailed. So we're going to go to the simple version here. And if it's just 50%, it does the arithmetic for you here, or a flat contribution, flat dollar amount does the same thing. So I found a lot of success in this page while screen sharing with clients because it gives them the optic of understanding of what their total cost and what the employee total cost will be depending on what your contribution is. So it's a really quick, easy way to do things. In terms of the ancillary lines, this employer contribution strategy is also on the same page. We operate off of a bucket system. We often find that's data driven. Most employers will offer just a lump sum, $50, let's say, as Jeremy's put in, to choose their ancillary benefits from. And if that's the case, all we do is install it here. So after the employer contribution strategy is installed, we want to confirm what the selections are. So this is a great point where if you didn't enter the data on the first page as you were building the case, just simply because it wasn't required, it's going to force you to enter that data here on the last page because we're actually finalizing. So as Jeremy does this, you'll see the sections we didn't do on the first page. And this is where we identify the waiting period. Below are all of the plans that, as you can see, as Jeremy goes along the tab, are all of the plans that we have selected and are wishing to confirm. So Jeremy is clicking next, and we're going to go and move on to the confirmation page. We're going to give you tons of warnings up top to make sure you actually are reviewing this, perusing this, and you can confirm here. So Jeremy has clicked the confirm button. And what's really neat, you'll notice if you attended the last webinar, emails were required to be on the census prior, but now you don't have to have an email. However, when you get to the confirmation page and the finalized page, if you have the email addresses, you can install them here because we're about to send open enrollment links, or as you'll notice off to the right where Jeremy's cursor was, is the QR code for each individual employee. Let's just say that you could send that to an HR manager. They could populate it on the company computer and have that person come in and make their benefit elections. And as the green tab says up top, the green banner, invites have been sent. So you are actually hosting digital open enrollment in this circumstance.
Yeah, so if you haven't caught on quite yet, our platform is built to be end to end. It's from when you first get that client that wants a quote, maybe you have a renewal. You can see the entire marketplace, whether that's fully insured, level funded, mix, alternative funded products, reference-based pricing. Our intention is to give you the whole marketplace, as John David mentioned, and then also move straight into an open enrollment and bin admin. And so instead of you taking a case and quoting it somewhere and building it in another platform and hosting open enrollment and then getting it to the carrier, we are end to end so that you don't have to build a case. It's building it as it goes so that when you're ready, just like we showed you, you can finalize that case. Employees come into they make based on your contributions and classes that you put in. And from there, they have a dashboard and so does the employer throughout the year to manage their benefits. So no longer you have to leave an ecosystem to take care of your group business.
It's a great way of putting it, Jeremy. Thank you. One app for everything. Okay. That's what we're going to show you of the software today. If we have more time, I could show you a whole lot more. Jeremy and I certainly could, but we would love for you, Laura and Leila, to book a demo with us. We'll spend as much time as you'd like, and we look forward to seeing you. How about any questions?
Yeah, so I will look at the chat if this would be a great time to go over any questions. I know that there is a question that we get often, and I don't know, JD, if you could explain to us what sets MyHealthily apart from other employee benefit platforms.
Well, we're going to offer you the entire marketplace, number one, and that's inclusive of the level funded products. Right. Many agents brokers don't typically level fund, but if you do, this is the place to do it. It is the most efficacious manner to issue a level funded policy, hands down.
Mhm.
No paperwork, right? And the GRX and Gradient AI underwriting are engaged through our platform as well. And logic is built in to know when to use those practices and when to use individual health questionnaires. So the marketplace, and frankly, it is one place to do everything. And that I think is the biggest takeaway, non-value added paperwork and one place to do quoting enrollment proposals and issue the group manager the rights to come in and conduct benefits administration throughout the policy year.
I
Um,
would, to add a
Go
little
ahead.
color to that, I would also say that to me, of course, as a longtime producer, there's a lot of tech stacks out there that do one part of the puzzle, and they do it very well. But we realized when we created MyHealthily that we were using so many different platforms to solve one problem that it still took just as much time for a group to quote and then install it somewhere. And so we have whittled down that process to make it what we call automagical, so that really with just a few minutes you can sell a group and get it into open enrollment without the typical constraints that come with it. I often liken it to Uber. You use Uber because you have everything in one spot. You wouldn't use Uber if you had to pull it up on Google Maps, see where your driver was, and then pull up PayPal and pay them. Uber's successful because it's streamlined, and that's what I think is different than other platforms.
That's great, Jeremy. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
And we also, so we do have a question, two questions coming in from Laura. So she
Mhm.
has some really great questions. So I don't know,
Actually,
JD.
let me
Yeah.
stop here,
Hmm.
Alyssa, because I see Laura writing.
Yep,
Let's
yep,
take
yep,
the
yep.
last question first from Laura.
Okay,
Can you
beautiful.
demo the employee open enrollment experience? And Jeremy, I think you have a screen pulled up to illustrate that. So yes, we can, Laura.
Great.
So this is exactly what you're asking for. This is the open enrollment experience for the employee. You can see Larry Anderson here. All of his information is added. The contact information, his job title, hire date, the things that would typically be discovered through the producer, broker, account manager. We're doing it in a digital fashion here. And the dependents and spouse of the employee as well. Gives you tabs, the employee tabs for the medical and ancillary lines here, all identified up top. And Larry can come in and select his major medical, or at the top, as you see in the first line, he can actually waive the benefit as well. There you go. SBCs are present as well for them to review, just like it was in the employer dashboard. I hope that is what you were looking for, Laura.
Yeah, no, that's a good, just to kind of see from their end. Did you want to address any of her other questions? I don't know if we're able to
Yeah, go
share
ahead.
the screen. She wanted to see what a completed proposal would look like.
We certainly can.
Okay,
Absolutely.
there
Remember,
we go.
with the proposal, as Jeremy works on pulling it up, uh, you can issue it or pull that report or proposal two different ways: Excel, or you can pull it in a Word format document. We make both versions editable, so you can, if you don't want to show certain data points, you can certainly delete the rows and or columns. And actually, from the proposal format, you can actually deselect plans if you want to pull them off of the proposal. And I think, back to that question you'd asked, what's the differentiating factor? One of the differentiating factors of MyHealthily proposal issuance is enormous. Uh, I know you both probably are very sensitive to keying in data and how long it takes. Imagine not having to do that anymore. Jeremy, do you have a proposal you can show? Thank you. So this is what you saw before just a minute ago. This is a landing page of the proposal, right? We have testing agency written in here, but Meridian Platinum Services is the case we're working on now, transferred over to the proposal. And if you entered in the key data points, all of that information will be in the landing page. Here's the major medical page here. Now, you can stack as many as you'd like in this proposal, left to right. But as we move up and down on the screen, it's going to list all of the data points that are on the SBC as well. Give you a monthly total and an annual premium total as well, in addition to the composite rates for the 4-tier classes.
Yeah, and it's important that this is sorry, branded for you. So when you do create your agency, we grab your logo. So your logo is so it increases your branding and stays consistent. Also with that, these rates are based on the census you put in and the ones that you waived. So based on what you told the platform, these are your totals, these are your composite rates, etc. And like John David mentioned, it's really important that all of this is editable and you can add to it. But we do find that a lot of platforms out there only give you little bits of information on proposal, or you have to pay a lot extra to kind of customize these. You get every piece of data that's on that SBC. So maybe pregnancy is really important to one group and you have it there. Maybe labs is to another. You don't have to constantly be editing and proposal. You've got all the data points at your fingertips.
Exactly right. Thank you.
Jamie, Laura had a question about how are age band rates displayed?
Yeah, if you want to show that, Jeremy, we can then move on to the employer contribution. She wanted to take a look at that again.
Thank you.
There are two ways that the age bands are displayed, just so you're aware of that. If this group was finalized and enrolled, you actually have access to the entire age band, so you can see what a 19-year-old is versus a 20-year-old. Within the platform itself, you actually see based on the census, so you see the information on those employees that are there. So give me one moment to pull that up.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the questions, by the way, ladies.
Yeah, no, this is great. Yeah, great questions.
Just have to get to
Gotcha, Jeremy. No rush.
She says, thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate it. I guess
Hey,
while we're
Laura, let me ask this, Laura, is it Lila or Leela? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but what are you all's roles in the agencies you're with? You could put it in the chat, or you don't have to. Okay, here we are. Okay, so here's how the age bands are displayed from the employer shop. That's actually that age banded tab. Jeremy, can you go back and show that age banded tab? Sometimes people miss that on the plan card.
Hey JD, just so you know, Laura is the group benefits manager.
Great.
Mhm.
This will help you a lot, Laura.
Oh yeah.
So the age band tab is here on the plan card. Any fully insured plan is going to have that age banded tab to offer. So you just click it, and it is broken down per dependent and enrolled employee and the tier. And as Jeremy mentioned before, when the group finalizes, as you saw in the demo, you can revert back and we can show you some other reports that we have that you'll be interested in. And you will also gain access to the actual carrier age bands So we've had a lot of success, and sometimes group owners will call and say, "Hey, I'm maybe I'm going to hire a 35-year-old. What's it look like for the cost of enrollment for that person, that future employee?" So you're able to give some insight into that.
Okay. Well, those were, and does anybody else have any questions? Those are some really, really great questions.
Jeremy,
Interesting.
do me a favor if you will, really quickly if you can. Can you show the reports that are offered in our app as well? So just to let you know, we have a payroll deductions report, a enrolled census enrollment report. Uh, we have an email history report, which should pique your interest as well, and a employee census that's exportable as well.
You seeing it on the screen here?
Yeah,
Okay,
we are.
excellent. Yeah,
Thank
one
you.
thing with the last couple of minutes, as John David mentioned, you have these, of course, payroll report is of course all of these are editable, but it's intended so that you can give it to any payroll vendor to process deductions. Enrollment report actually gives you full information on what employees and dependents have selected, totals, and then a census, of course, is a census at that time. So you can at any point in time get a glimpse of the enrollment. Email history, as John David mentioned, anytime an email goes out to the platform, the email it went to, the subject line, what an employee and what the type is, so that if you get that employee's like, I never got my open enrollment, you can tell if
Mhm.
something happened there. And then lastly, you can always, of course, track employee elections throughout the year. This one, no one was actually invited quite yet, but if they had, you can actually make elections on their behalf. So can the employer. So maybe you have an employee that never going to go through the platform or is a little struggling, or maybe you just want to have a passive enrollment, you can do that through here, make the elections on behalf of the employees. And then you, the employee, and the employer always have access offered, as well as being able to edit any data, new SBCs. There's a documents for employees to see. Maybe it's an employee handbook, or if there's documents you just want to share between you and the employer, maybe that's the employer application. Lastly, we didn't really get into it, but all applications, IMQs, whatever they might be, are done through the platform and they're done digitally. So no more paperwork and running down an application. All those are digitally signed. So it makes it a lot easier as well.
Yes. It's a lot to take in, ladies. I understand, but Jeremy says it well. It does a lot. Anything
Yeah,
you can think of.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, if that is all the questions, is there anything else, JD and Jeremy, before we kind of head out to discuss, or anything else?
I don't think so. I'd just like to encourage both of you to gather your teams or just individually come in and have a demo. We'd love to have a discussion with you and show you what we can do. We have a really nice pricing structures tagged with our app. I think you'd find it quite affordable.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing I would put as the topping of the cake, so to speak, is we're agents. This is built by longtime producers that have had our own agencies. That we know the struggles that an account manager or producer has on a daily basis. And unlike some other platforms, again, they do things well, but I often find them more techie involved than about really the business. And so we've made several changes and updates to our platform throughout the years, and many of them have been producer driven. It's, hey, I need this feature, I want to look at this. Unlike some others, we don't restrict support, and we want your feedback so that to help you write more business. That's what really the software here is about: is write more and enroll more. So we love feedback from our customers, and I think you'll find that as a differentiating factor with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well said. Yeah. So, and I guess with wrapping that up, that was a quick look at the power of MyHealthily. And as you can hear, we've made it simpler than ever to quote, enroll, and manage employee health benefits so you can focus on what really matters, which is building lasting relationships with your clients, your employees. So we want to see, if you want to see more, we highly encourage to book a personalized demo and experience the difference yourself. We have the slide up. Feel free to reach out to JD or anybody on this webinar. We have the information here at myhealthily.com or agents at myhealthily.com, and we can get the demo scheduled for you. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks. Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.